Hey guys, welcome to the latest episode of Skagit Storytellers. Before I jump into this episode with Spencer Duffy, I wanted to mention a few things coming up. On Friday, September 1st, there's a fundraiser at the Lyman Tavern, and the West Jones Trio is playing. I mean, I would go anyway, even if it was just the West Jones Trio playing. It's Carly, Charlie, and Wes, but it's also a fundraiser for Susan Fitzgerald and her family. There's going to be baskets that will be raffled off, other items. You should come head out to that. That's on Friday at 7. And then the next day is going to be Ampfest in Anacortes. There's a ton of bands playing. I've mentioned it before. Zach Michaud is going to be there. Pretty Much Nothing, The Enthusiast, Turnkey Runner. On my episode with Shane Gilness, he mentioned a band called You Are Girls. And so they're going to be there as well. I'm excited to hear them. That's on Saturday the 2nd from noon until 8 at Seafarers Park in Anacortes. I don't know where that is, but I'm going to Google it and I will be there because I'm volunteering all day. I'm excited for that. Hopefully the weather's good. If not, it'll be a story. This one track meet that Olive and I went to, I used to coach middle school track, and we went to this one track meet in Anacortes, and the weather was so bad. I think it was almost hailing. Like it was raining so much. This was also mid-May. The rain was terrible. A bunch of the parents didn't show up to volunteer for whatever reason. I think a couple coaches might have had COVID or something, so they were very short-staffed for the event. So Olive and I helped out at the shot put pit. We ran it with our buddy Hunter, and it was so bad. It was so cold. I mean, the sheets were all wet. It was bad, but I told Olive, I said, well, we're either going to have good weather or a good story. And out of all of my stories from that year of middle school track, I've told that one the most. And I remember making a post about it because Olive she was awesome. I mean, I said to her, it's going to rain regardless, if we're in a good mood or a bad mood. So let's be in a good mood. And she was cracking jokes the whole time. Oh, she's such a great kid. Anyway, I have to do another episode with her, I think. She's starting 6th grade tomorrow. I can't believe I have a 6th grader. Also, we converted the spare room into a jam room. So we have 2 guitars in there, a harmonica, her violin, and and my trumpet. And I also got a keyboard and a tambourine. And we're going to have jam nights there with her friends. So yesterday a friend came over and they started to write a song, and I heard the violin, but then I heard her computer and they were making beats on this like Rock Band type app or something. I don't know. And then I said, well, where's the lyrics? And they're like, well, we haven't worked on them yet. So they were taking turns making beats. And then she grabbed my tablet and I said, oh, are you going to write lyrics now? And she said, no, I'm drawing the design for our band. So they're going to collaborate with their other friends on a band name. She's already making the logo. It has something to do with a car that the guys like. It's a, I don't know, 60s Ford car or something. So I think those are the important things that you need to start a band. Who cares about the song? Just make sure you have a good band name and a logo. So I will definitely post updates or give you guys updates about the 6th grade Westview band that's happening. All right. Anyway, Ampfest, Lyman Tavern. I know that in October there's a lot of stuff happening as well. One thing I wanted to mention, because I know you need to get tickets ahead of time because it often sells out. There are ghost walks in Concrete. I believe it's Saturday nights. They do either 1 or 2 ghost walks throughout the night. So volunteers in Concrete will dress up and basically act out skits at different businesses around the town. And then one person will lead them through. So you'll hear about like the history of Concrete, and there will be some stories that are true, but also a little embellished, maybe. I don't know. Last year I did like a murder mystery trivia dessert night at the Concrete Theater. It was really fun. I'm going to do a similar thing next month in October, but I think it's going to be slightly different. I haven't got all the details yet with Val, but it'll be fun. And that is going to be I believe, on the 7th. Let me double check my calendar. Yes, Saturday, October 7th. So there'll also be tickets for that. So make sure you get your tickets. Trivia at the theater is really fun. There's a couple beers on tap. There's some wine, ice cream, and it's all ages. It's always a fun time. So Ghost Walks in September in Concrete. Just Google Ghost Walks Concrete, and I'm sure you'll find a ticket link somewhere, or you can always email Val at valerie@concrete-theater.com. All right. The other big thing happening soon, you don't have to buy tickets for it, but just show up, is a fundraiser for the radio station in Concrete. And that's going to be a live show on Main Street. There is talk that the bands might possibly play on the roof of the hub again. I haven't got confirmation, but I do know that Skagit Storytellers is heavily involved in the planning. So listen to the radio and you'll hear all about that. All right, just a reminder that my radio show, This Song Will Change Your Life, comes out. It doesn't come out. It's live every Tuesday from 6 to 8. So if you love my podcast and love listening to my voice, you should listen to my radio show because, as Dustin says, I talk too much. There is awesome music, but I also talk. I love hearing why people love the songs that they love. So Dustin, I hope you listen at some point. Actually, Dustin's wife has a really great show on Saturdays. It's called Kicking It with Karen, and it's from 3 to 5. And Karen barely talks. She plays really good music. The other show I like is Nothing Set in Concrete. Jeremy and Jack have that show from 6 until 8. And also on Friday mornings from 10 until noon, Red has a show called The Texas Connection, and he plays rock, country, lots of great stuff. Red's a really fun DJ as well. I was a guest on his show once. And then Wednesdays from 2 to 4 is Ren's show. And I haven't heard Ren's show yet, but I will. And the only reason why I remember all these show times is that I put them in my Google Calendar. So you should put my show into your calendar as a recurring event from 6 until 8 on Tuesdays. And send me a text, request a song. I might get to it. Who knows? I'm definitely going to play a track from D. Esser's new album, Tame. I really like it. I went to his album release or EP release party at the Honeymoon on Saturday. It was packed in there. It was really fun. I like that spot as well. So listen up for that. And I got a 45 at a yard sale. And the band is called Dale Marwood and the Dirty Beaver Jug Band. I think I got that right. I have no idea if I can even play 45s at the station, but I'm going to try. And I hope that it's okay for radio. I'm not going to play it ahead of time. I'm just going to play it live for the first time on the radio. So it might be my last radio show this week. We'll see. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Spencer and I talked about golf, his son, music, drumming, I think video games, stories about his parents. There are some parts where it sounds like maybe your recording skipped. It didn't. I had a really bad cough that day. And so there are certain parts I had to take out and I had to get kind of crafty with the editing. So my editing's not perfect. This is not my full-time job. I don't pay anyone for this. I do it myself on Audacity. So sorry if it's not perfect, but I tried. I really liked it. Thanks to Spencer for coming over. I mentioned earlier that there were some things happening in the next few days and in October for events, but I just remember too that Spencer, he's in a band called Pretty Much Nothing, and they're playing at Farmstrong on Thursday. So if you hear this Wednesday morning, head out to their show on Thursday. I actually made Miguel a shirt, and I think that he might be wearing it on Thursday. So if you head out to the show, check out his custom shirt that I made for him. All right. I think that's it. I'm getting lazier with my intros and my edits, so it's fine. It's my podcast. I can do what I want. All right. That's it. So you'll be listening to this right before September. In September, I'm doing 5K a day. So I encourage you to maybe do 1 mile a day, or get up and stretch at the same time every single day, or play your guitar every day. Just do something every single day in September that's hard for you. Let me know how it goes. All right, guys, enjoy your day. Go do something hard.
Howdy, partner. Welcome to one of the most northern parts of the United States of America. Travel with me upriver as we talk to a bunch of ladies and fellers and they share their tales of wit and wisdom. That's right, it's time again for Skagit Storytellers with Liz Rankin.
Let's hear about your teacher again. Your favorite teacher. I wish I had that on earlier.
Oh, Mrs. Money. Yeah, she was my 4th grade teacher, and yeah, as I was saying, she would do cartwheels, handstands, this, that, the other thing. You know, make school kind of fun, I guess.
Do you remember anything she taught you?
I think I was in her class the last time she taught 4th grade, so I learned all of that kind of fun stuff. And
oh, she didn't teach 4th grade after you left?
no, she moved down to 3rd grade, I think. And
okay.
It's funny because that's where I met Marshall Fichter for the first time. He was in her 3rd grade class, and I was her TA. I was in, I think, 11th grade, 11th or 12th grade at the time. And so, yeah.
Let's talk about all the trouble that you and Marshall got into.
Well, he is funny, too, actually. I coached him in, I don't know what you would call it, like 4th and 5th grade kids. They did like...
Wait, you coached him?
Yeah, like intramural basketball.
Oh, wait. So how old is he?
He is probably 22, 23.
Oh, I thought you meant you met him in class.
No. I was Mrs. Money's TA.
Got it.
And
sorry.
So to go along with the story of my favorite teacher, I guess I was getting to that point that I was there, and Marshall, actually, they did like a talent show kind of thing deal. He went up there and sang, and he was in 3rd grade, and even at the time I was like, oh man, this guy's good. So yeah, after it's kind of weird.
You said, hey man, want to be in a band one day?
Yeah. No, it's funny. At one point when I was between playing with my buddy Cody, he was busy doing other stuff. I was doing my thing, and at one point I texted Gibson because we'd worked together at the grocery store in Concrete. Is
Gibson the same age as you?
He is like 4 or 5 years younger than me.
Okay.
I'm the oldest of the bunch.
I'm usually the oldest.
Yeah, Miguel, I want to say, is the closest.
I think he's 28.
Yeah, he's like only maybe 2 years younger than me. But so I messaged him and asked if Marshall was doing anything at the time, and that was when they were kind of getting back into bare feet. And then it was maybe 2-3 years later. Here we are. I'm playing with bare feet, playing with those guys, and I have Mrs. Money to thank for it, I guess.
Nice.
So there's my short, long story about my favorite teacher.
Has she been to any of your shows?
I don't know that she has.
Any former teachers?
My old PE teacher, Mr. Newby. He's been, I don't know if he's come to watch us necessarily, but we've been there when he's been at shows. So
cool.
Other than that, can't really think of anybody else off the top of my head.
Who do you feel like is at all your shows? Who's your biggest fan? I'm going to guess. Miguel's mom.
Yes.
Or Andrea?
It's a toss-up between the two. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, we see, I don't know, I guess it just depends on where we play. If we're in, like, the Birdsview area, Sweeney, one of my old baseball coaches, he was there at Birdstock. He's been to a few of our shows. And probably a million people I can't think of off the top of my head that Miguel would tell you. But, yeah, no, definitely either Roseanne or Andrea are definitely. Thanks, Moms.
How about, this is a hard one. You ready? Which fast food restaurant is the best?
Taco Time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go with Taco Time. It's a little bit spendier. I don't know. Just it sits in my stomach a little bit better than all the other fast foods. Is probably why I would go with that
Taco Bell?
Yeah, Taco Bell, no good. Yeah, I was at one point in our trips to baseball when we would get to like the state playoff point for regionals, we had to go to Centralia 2 years in a row, my junior and senior year. And my junior year, we stopped, and Jim said, "Hey, go get your food, come back, and be back in 20 minutes. We're gonna leave." And so we do, and me and like 3 other guys, we went and got Taco Bell. And it was like 20 minutes later, he told the bus driver to pull over, and was like, "All right, we got to roll the windows down or something. It stinks in here." And so he's like, "I want to know who went to Taco Bell, because I know some of you did, and you're the culprits." I was like, "I'll be honest, it was me." And the next year, we stop, and before we get off, he addresses the team, and he goes, "All right, go get your food. Be back in 20 minutes. Spencer, no Taco Bell." I don't think I'm going to do it this time, because it was pretty tough to play after that.
So that one's the worst. Okay.
Yes. What do you want to make more time for?
I know this might sound weird, but I want to have more time to do this, more podcasts. I love it.
Well, that's not weird if it's something you love.
You were talking about how your dad moved around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
How did he meet your mom?
My mom was, funny enough, a huge bowler. She would go bowling. She played in a league. And I know at one point she told me she had one more strike in the 10th frame for a 300, and literally everybody in the bowling alley that was there was watching. And she goes, "Yeah, I got 9 pins. Yeah, $2.99. So to your original question, yeah, they met at the bowling alley. My dad, as I've alluded to, is a big sports guy, very competitive. So he was probably out there strutting his stuff, peacock feathers out and everything. But,
are you good at bowling?
I'm terrible.
The equivalent to going to state in Canada is going to the provincials. So when I was 10, maybe 12 actually, I went to the provincials for bowling. That was really good. But I don't know if you know this, in Canada they have 5-pin bowling.
That sounds like something I could be better at.
So the ball is just like this big, and you just hold it in your hand.
The Wii has like the 100-pin bowling or whatever. Where,
really?
Yeah, it's like it starts at like 10, and then it just doubles after that, and you get to the end, and they're falling over.
Are you good at Wii bowling?
I haven't done the Wii bowling in a while, but yes, I have. I've got some pretty high averages on that one.
Are you better at Wii bowling or Mario Kart?
Definitely Mario Kart. Only because Gibson's been keeping me in check on that. We've been every time after practice we'll have one tournament of Mario Kart. He's won the last couple, but it's pretty even, neck and neck overall, I think. No, I'm definitely better at that. That's one of the video games I grew up with. That one and 007 GoldenEye.
And what system?
Nintendo 64. You should know that. You used to work there.
When I worked there, the 3DS just came out.
Oh, really? Yeah,
and
I had one of those. I have no idea where it's at now, but...
Do you remember when the special Pikachu one came out? It was in very, very limited supply.
I don't.
And I had a folder on my desktop called "I Hate You, Pikachu," because they just caused such a headache. Sometimes, like, we just didn't have the part because it was a really rare system.
Yeah. And
they would get so mad.
Not the Wii.
Oh, the Wii U?
The Wii U. Yeah, because that one had the little handheld thing. And oh, man, I remember playing that at the grocery store. I'd sneak it downstairs, and then, when I'd finish everything, there was nobody in the store. I'd just go down there and wait till they called me up to do something. Play some Mario Kart, a little bit of Zelda.
What did you do at the store?
Everything. A little bit of everything. Well, Mike and Richard Frank used to own it, and they basically, if you were coming through high school and you needed a job, you could be a box boy or something, and that's kind of how I started there, and then stayed there until I finished at Skagit, and then went to the sawmill. Had 3 years of absolute joy with that. And then, not Pacific Rim Tonewoods, by the way, SPI. Okay. I wouldn't badmouth PRT. And then, started working with my dad, and shortly after Riley was born. And now I'm able to make time to do all sorts of fun stuff.
How did your dad start doing that work?
I don't know exactly.
And so technically it's what, like, you told me, I forget.
Mobile home setup. So...
Right. Okay.
Trailers, as most people call them, but we prefer manufactured homes. It sounds a little more professional.
Okay.
But yeah, we just set those up, and I don't know how exactly he got started. I know he did plumbing for a little while. All sorts of weird jobs, I guess, like everybody does growing up, I guess. But mainly before he went there, he started doing plumbing, and then one of his friends had basically the same kind of business doing manufactured homes, and so he just started working with him, and after 6-7 years of doing that, got all of his own supplies and tools and whatnot, and said, I'm going to go out and do it on my own, and hope for the best. Spectacles, testicles, wallet, watch. And that was 1980. So since my mom's passed away, for him, it's almost like his escape from the house is to, get out and go to work, And the nice thing for him is he's got, my brother and I, who essentially, yes, if he wanted to retire, we could, keep it going for him. But he's been there for a handful of years, longer than I have, and he knows a little bit more than I do. And I let him because I don't like to be the responsible one. I like to just show up when I'm supposed to and get
Typical
it done.
drummer.
Yep. Fashionably late every time.
Well, you were late today, right?
Yeah. For me, I was on time. For everybody else, I was late.
Speaking of being a drummer, I found some jokes.
Okay.
And I was just curious if you've heard all these yet. Have you heard a lot of drummer jokes?
Probably.
All right. What do you call someone who hangs around with musicians?
I don't know.
A drummer. Did you hear about the drummer who went to college?
No.
Me neither. I can stop if you want.
No, please keep going. These are good.
Okay. What's the difference between a drummer and a vacuum cleaner?
I'm going to say nothing. They both suck.
Close. You have to plug a vacuum in for it to suck.
Oh.
I didn't actually find these. Miguel sent these to me. I just want you to know.
Oh, yeah. Well, that explains
those
it.
are all Miguel's. How do you tell if... I think this one's really rude, but I'll read it. How do you tell if a stage is level?
How?
Drool comes out both sides of the drummer's mouth. I like that you can laugh at these. This is good.
Oh.
Okay.
You can't get mad at comedy.
I don't really get this one. Maybe you can explain it. How can you tell a drummer's at the door?
I don't know how.
The knocking increases in speed. Is there a joke about how when you're drumming, you tend to drum faster? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe, yeah. But, I don't know. Did Miguel send that one?
No, he didn't send these. I just Googled them.
Say, if Miguel did send that one, then he can't get too upset because he's the one that's always pressing the tempo. No, I don't know. I guess I'd say naturally, yeah. I mean, if anything, I would speed up as opposed to slowing down just because it's a lot more difficult to kind of, unless you're intentionally changing the beat to a slower rhythm. But speeding up, yes, very easy to do.
Do you ever get super nervous? Like you feel like you're going to puke?
Not that nervous, but the worst thing for me is like the other day when we were at Eagle Haven, I saw Trevor from Lazy Acres just like
staring at you,
just giving me
judging you,
not judging, but just kind of checking out what I was doing. And then as soon as I notice another drummer or musician, I'm like, oh man, I got to do all this crazy stuff, man. I got to look really cool, and so those are the only times where I kind of get myself into trouble. But as far as getting nervous, no, I'll get a little a little jittery, I guess, before we first start. But
I mean, if you have a giant crowd, it sort of makes sense to.
Yeah, well, that's the issue. We need more giant crowds out there. As far as the poster, the T-shirts, how they order that all out, that's above my pay grade.
You're just the drummer.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I show.
Speaking of that,
back to the jokes.
What does a sneeze and a drum solo have in common?
What?
You know it's coming and you can't stop it.
Yeah, force a little bit of extra fills in sometimes, and there's points in the song where I'll just have to kind of take over for a minute and then let them have it back. But no, other than Moby Dick, we did that one today at the fair. Throws people for a loop if they don't know the two songs, but it goes right into
so Moby Dick is
You,
first,
the Beatles, yeah.
And then, sorry, what is it?
I Want You / She's So Heavy by the Beatles. Couple of old 70s, well, shoot, I Want You might even be a 60s tune. I'd have to look that up for sure. But
how do you get a drummer off your porch?
I don't know.
Pay him $10 for the pizza. Okay, last one. What's the difference between a drum machine and a drummer?
I don't know.
You only have to punch information into a drum machine once for it to understand you. Why did you decide to start playing the drums?
You know, I think it was mainly growing up. It was just, my brother and I just had my older brother, my sister.
Oh, does he play?
He had well, not anymore. He played guitar with a couple high school friends and his girlfriend at the time, mainly in like Bellingham area. But no, growing up, he bought a white Fender Telecaster and had a little amp, and so I'd always go out there and we would look up videos on like how to play Smoke on the Water and stuff, just simple power chords. And after a while, we wanted to get drums, and we both had been working during the summer with our dad. So I was probably 13, 14 at the time, and he had his license for maybe a year, and we went down to the Guitar Center and bought a drum set, and the rest is history, I guess, after that. But
so you had never played the drums before?
No. So we bought a kit, and we went insane with it. It's just like the one that I have now. It's got seven drums and like 3 or 4 cymbals. I mean, it's way more stuff than we ever needed. And yeah, that was all we did. That
was the original drums that you bought, are the ones you have now?
No, they're the original set is currently at Gibson's.
Okay.
In the band room there. That's the practice set,
for
I guess,
Bare Feet?
if you will. For Bare Feet, pretty much nothing,
okay,
anybody. And yeah, so we had that, and we just looked up a video of how to play a 4/4 rock beat on the drums.
Oh.
And he kind of figured out how to do it, and then he showed me, and he started playing guitar. Well, I did that, and that's all I did, and I just played 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 for like 3 hours straight, and it was the coolest thing ever. And
wow. And how old were you?
13 or 14
Huh.
at the time. It wasn't 3 hours, I guess, but
Yeah.
we just farted around forever, and then after a few weeks, finally he learned how to play. I think the first song we did was Led Zeppelin, Communication Breakdown. Paranoid, Black Sabbath. Those were our two songs. We played those literally every day for like 2 years, and he would just work on other stuff. And after a while, really wanted me to get into band class in high school, and that's where Miguel and I really started jamming together. Cause
You met Miguel in band? Pretty
much, yeah. I mean, I had met him a couple times through other buddies of mine that were friends with him. But yeah, band class, once he got to like middle school,
Yeah, because he said he played the bass guitar. He picked it up at the end of 8th grade.
Yeah, he was like playing in middle school, and I was probably 10th grade at the time, I think. And then when I went into my junior year, he was a freshman. And we'd get to my other buddy I was telling you about that I golf with, Cody. He plays the drums too. I taught him everything he knows. Don't let him tell you anything different if you get a chance to talk to him.
Wait, did you teach him how to golf or play the drums?
Both, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I was actually going to ask, if you had to give one up, would you give up the drums or would you give up golf?
Oh,
you have to pick.
I don't think I can pick. I think at that point, just call it a day. That is a tough question. I think I would have to. I think I'd have to give up the golf.
Yeah.
That would absolutely devastate me. But I feel like I could play the drums pretty well into my older years as opposed to golf. Because golf, once you get to 40, you can't really turn the arms as far
Once
back.
you get to 40?
Yeah, once you're an old man.
Shut up.
No, that would be really tough. I would have to think about that for a while.
Okay, if you did a poll, I'm pretty sure you could find way more old golfers than old drummers.
Way more old good golfers? Yeah, there's a lot out there. What is the most impressive athletic feat you've performed?
Oh, I won my college's tennis tournament 3 years in a row, singles.
Really?
Yeah. All these people who have known each other for like the last 6 months of this class, and then I roll up, and I'm a beginner, and I destroyed everyone. So then the next year, like they had 3 levels that you would circle. I wrote pro and I circled it, and I was like, fuck you. And so I beat them all again. I'm a little competitive sometimes.
I was going to say that 100 miles in 106-degree weather sounded like top of the list.
No, I only did 36 miles.
That's...
Thank you for bringing up my failures.
That's not a failure.
I also failed. I tried to do Badger 100, and I failed, and I only did 50. Strawberry Fields 100, I only did 36. The Treadmill 100, it's 100 miles on the treadmill. I got 73, and I put Olive to bed, and then I just started crying, and I was like, I can't go back on that thing. But I feel like my accomplishment for that is, I think I was around like mile 55, and I had to stop because she was playing Mary in the church play. It was Christmas.
Oh, okay.
So I got to go to church, sit there and watch her be Mary, and then come back home and
hop right back on.
Keep going. Yeah, so the Treadmill, Badger, and Strawberry Fields. But then Pigtails is a 9-mile loop that you do. And I thought, okay, Pigtails, I volunteered at the year before. Like, I think this will be a good environment. But as I do with everything, I went above and beyond, and I signed up for the 200. And I only got 100 in. So technically,
only 100?
I only did the half. My sticker on my coffee cup says I only did the half. So technically, I failed that race, but I had never done 100 before.
I don't think I've ever run 100 miles in 1 year before.
Too many. The day that I saw you in Concrete, I had run 21 miles that day, and the next day I ran 22. But then the 23rd, I was supposed to run 23, but I couldn't. I had this like unbearable, never before seen type of horrible blister, and so that day, the day after I saw you, I ran 22 miles in Crocs because it had a gap in the back, which didn't affect my blister, and I was like, that's it, I'm finishing the month out in Crocs. And then I woke up on the 23rd, and I was like, I can't do this.
The Crocs weren't cutting it.
I cried. I'm pretty sure that was not a regular blister. I think I was going to do some pretty bad damage, so I quit. So yeah, we can let's talk about all my failures in running.
Okay.
You're burning a ton of calories while you're playing, like drums.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a sport.
Let's go with that then. We'll go with today's show at the fair was the most impressive.
Do you have like one of those like watches where you can keep track of how many calories you burned? That'd be interesting to put them all on you guys and see like which band member burns the most calories. Because you said sometimes Miguel can kick it up, and
this right now is going to be weird enough.
Are you going to listen to this?
Oh yeah, I'll have to listen to it just to make fun of myself. But no, yeah. Other than that, like I say, I'll listen to them every once in a while. You know, like after we get done, I'll Roseanne, if she's there, she's always taking videos. So
Yeah.
I'll just kind of throw them on the way home from a gig or when we get back, and I'm just making food or whatever. And but other than that, no, I'm not at home going, yeah, man, that guy on the drums is really good. Even though he is.
What hobby have you been doing consistently for the longest time?
No
You
comment.
talk about golf. I'm going to go to the bathroom and go do the dishes.
Let's see. Where do I start?
No, really. When did you start golfing, though?
Woo, golf.
Before the drums?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, so your dad played.
Yeah, yeah.
And he brought you.
I had. Let's see. I got my first set of golf clubs when I was probably 10. And I don't know. I'd been out on the course with him, you know, not playing or anything, but I would just ride around in the cart, or you know, every once in a while I'd get the putter out and hit the putter every once in a while. But no, actually playing probably about 9 or 10, because that was when you know, I'd go out with him and actually be able to hit the ball on, you know, not every shot, because he would get irritated of watching me hit it 5 feet and just pick it up, we'll go to the next hole. And it was the same way I told him with the drums. I was like, you're going to get frustrated, you're going to want to be able to do this, that, and the other thing, and you're not going to be able to until you practice it enough.
Yeah.
And he's like me. He's just super stubborn, and he'll go out there, and golf is one of those games that you love to hate it, I guess, because one day you'll go out there and you'll feel like you're on top of the world, you know, and you'll have the most fun. Not that it isn't fun every time.
Yeah.
And then you'll go out a couple days later and you're like, I'm going to sell my clubs. Like, I'm done. I'm not playing anymore. Like, this game sucks.
What's like the longest gap when you've had a day like that and you're like, screw it? Like, how long?
What's the longest I've gone?
Not without playing.
Oh, just without playing, or
Yeah.
where I've
Maybe where you've got so mad you just like gave up for a while.
Probably when I was a lot younger, like 15 or 16. I remember going out with my brother one time, and we were carrying our clubs. You know, we didn't get carts, and so we were just walking, and we played 9 holes, and I got done. I was like, I'm not playing the other 9. Rob, and he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I'm done. I quit golf. I'm never playing again. And that probably lasted maybe, you know, at the time I could only go and my dad would take us or whatnot, but maybe 2 months and I was right back at it. But
Oh, that's it.
yeah. No, it's like I say, you know, you go out there and you have a terrible round, and then you just go, oh God, now I got to get out there and play better next time, you know.
So how often do you play golf? Like once a week?
For me, right now, I try to, yes, at least once a week in the summertime. Wintertime, I can get out there and play a little bit more frequently. I only go if Cody can go, because I don't want to get soaking wet and miserable on my own. I got to have somebody else out there to suffer with me. But wintertime, yeah, if I don't have a whole lot going on, which with our work is somewhat frequently that time of year, I'll go 2-3 times a week if I can.
Wow.
But that's only because in the wintertime, like I say, if you get out there and there's nobody out there, you can play in 18 holes in maybe 2.5 hours. So
I should have looked up golfing jokes.
there's plenty of those, I'm sure. We did last year for 4th of July, we played the 3rd of July in Tahola.
Where's that?
That is basically on the peninsula. I'm not even exactly sure. All I know is it's near ocean shores, and it took about 4 hours to get there. So that was probably actually, I take that back. That was the longest stretch we played.
Tell me about the van ride, a 4-hour van ride with Miguel and Gibson.
Okay, so thankfully it was just Gibson and I. Miguel,
thankfully,
he roped his brother into driving down there with him.
Oh, right.
Yeah. We all shared a tent, though. I bought a big 12-man tent for us, and we threw it down on the beach, and we had an interesting evening there.
Let's hear about that.
Yeah, so we'll go back to the start. Yeah, we played Rockport on the 2nd, July 2nd last year, and we packed everything up.
Wait, like 20, like not this summer?
Yeah, last year.
Got it, okay.
Played there and packed everything up and immediately left for Tahola. So we left there, Rockport, at probably 11 o'clock. Got to Tahola and got situated
at 5 a.m.
at the beach. Yeah, it was probably 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Are you guys Zach Michaud or something?
That's what it felt like. Yeah, I mean, everybody was exhausted, and so we get to this beach, and the only place to sleep is in the tent. So we've got to go out there and set the tent up. It's pitch black. It's about 20 miles an hour of wind out there because it's right on the water. Yeah. And we're sitting there with, like 5 of us with flashlights out, on our phones, trying to set this thing up. And finally got it. And, that was an interesting...
It's a team-building exercise.
Yeah. It was not a lot of teamwork. It was
you were still a band after that.
It was a lot of screaming and yelling, and I want to go to bed. I don't care if all the poles are in there properly. Just get it going. But, it worked out, and then stayed there all day, played, and then shot some fireworks off, and packed everything up and left. That was
It's a mini tour.
Yeah, that was the most extensive full-on band trip I've ever been a part of.
And then after that third show, did you just say, like, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks?
Pretty much, yeah.
It was a break.
It was, so, because I had, I want to say it was a Saturday was the 4th last year. I could be wrong, but either way, I had the kid, and I had him the next day, and I was like, yeah, I've got enough energy to hang out with Riley, and then after that, I need 2 days of go to work, come home, and do absolutely nothing. So yeah, they're all Miguel Garibay specials.
Where's your song?
It's coming.
Really?
At some point in time, hopefully. No, I don't know. It's tough for me because I can kind of give them a beat, but as far as composing anything on guitar and stuff, I've never really been good at that. I can just like...
Do you think lyrics would be easy?
No, I'm not good at that either.
Okay.
Well, I mean, other than my wonderful lyrics I wrote for Miguel on Trainwreck, Sunshine and Rainbows. That one went out pretty good, but
oh yeah, he mentioned that on the podcast.
Yeah, no, that was basically he came over and he had worked on the instrumental portion with me, and he was like, I don't really know what to sing on this. I was like, I don't write lyrics, dude. I wait for you to tell me what kind of tempo you want, and then I just figure it out. And
yeah.
So obviously you got the story, but other than that, no, I don't think I've ever really I haven't even really tried writing lyrics that much before, because I start writing down like ideas and thoughts I might have about something to sing about, and then I look back at them the next day and I'm like, wow, that's fucking silly. Nobody's gonna want to hear about this. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe one of these days I'll get the mandolin going again, and I'll figure something out on there. But that I think would be my ultimate goal, is to have at least one song that I write a majority of the parts for. But other than that, I like, having Miguel has just a simple kind of idea on the guitar, and be like, all right, Gib, this is the key, fart around on this for a little bit, and you play this fast, and then it just kind of, takes maybe a day or two after that, and we've got a pretty solid structure. And then he's got Miguel has his notebook that he's got all of his ideas that he jots down in there, and he comes back with the lyrics, and then maybe a couple more ideas on what to do with the overall structure, and next thing you know, we got a song.
How about how'd you guys do with I'm Lost, I'm Gone?
That one
ready?
So we had
ready for tomorrow.
Oh yeah, no, we've played that one a couple times.
Oh, you have?
Okay. We just, I don't know why, because Miguel he had sent me the recording, the one that you played the other day, where it's just him on the guitar, and he was pretty excited about it, and so he came over and we worked on it for a little bit, and then the next day, or the next practice, whatever day it was, Gibson was able to come over and he worked on it with us, and I thought it sounded great, and we did it at band camp last year, and I want to say a couple other shows, and we even recorded it with Jason. Cool. So that will be coming out on recording hopefully soon. Nice. And I don't know, it was funny because he said that he didn't really like that song. Miguel said that. He said he didn't really like that song, and he didn't like playing Tell Me What You Mean, another original.
I like that one. And
as soon as he said that, I was like, those are like my two favorite songs that we play. And he was like, And then, yeah, of course.
He sent you the puking emoji.
Yeah, the barf face. Yep.
Are you excited to be on the radio?
That I might actually be more nervous for than playing a show.
Really?
Why? Yeah, I don't.
Less people might be listening.
Yeah, that's true, and I won't be able to see them. So. And just, I don't know, even listening to myself with the headphones on, there's just something about hearing my own voice.
Yeah. So you don't really talk during shows, right?
Not really. I try not to. Yeah, they give me a microphone, but if I only get 200 words per gig, so I have to use them wisely.
Right.
Which celebrity or influential figure would you love to have dinner with? To have dinner with? Probably Gandhi, just because he'd let me eat everything. No, I'm kidding. I would say probably John Lennon, I think, honestly.
Why?
Just from watching the that documentary on Disney Plus about when they played on the rooftop there, and they hadn't toured together or hadn't played live, I guess, in like 6 or 7 years or something crazy at the time. And I don't know, just watching him when they would show like the behind the scenes interactions with him, talking to Paul and Ringo and George and whoever else was there, and then when they would have they had a scene, they were out at lunch, and just seems like a really smart guy, I guess, or seemed. I guess you could pick it up from his music, just his overall outlook on life. He seems like a pretty positive, fun guy to have been around.
Sounds like you.
Well, thank you. That's the kind of people I like to hang out with.
All right, so I know you could probably talk about him for 2 hours, but I'll give you 20 minutes.
Okay.
Let's talk about Riley.
Oh, boy.
Why is his name Riley James? Is there a significance there, or you just like the...
I always liked the name James, but I just always felt that was kind of a weird first name. Not weird, but I guess I know just so many people with the name James that go by like Jimmy or Jim or this, that, and the other thing, and it's like, I want something that's gonna really stick. And always liked the name Riley. Actually, the name I wanted to go with was Seamus.
Oh.
Seamus. Seamus. Irish name, I guess.
Are you Irish?
54% actually. Angie and I really liked the name Riley, and I just didn't like the Riley for some reason. So I looked it up, and I found the more, not Gaelic, but like Northern Irish spelling of it is Reilly. And I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. So we went with that, and it worked out because he learned how to say his name and spell it really quickly, because it sounds just like Blippi, the song, Blippi. So Reilly. So yeah, he had the little. It was funny. It was crazy the first time he did it. I bought him an easel last Christmas.
Like chalk? Or?
Yeah, there's one side is chalk, the other side's whiteboard, and then it's got like a roll of paper that you can pull down and paint on it and stuff. And I wasn't even watching him. He must have picked it up at his mom's house at one point, and I I look over there and he's on the chalkboard, and it's like it's written in this huge like angle, and all the letters are different sizes, but it's Reilly there, and I was like, did you do that, Riley, or did Papa come out and do that for you? He was like, no, I did it. And I was like, can I see? No. So it took me another day or two, and he did it again, and I was like, Leapfrog's actually working out for him.
He sounds very advanced.
Yeah, he's I've gotten comments along those lines a lot with him. The doctor, anybody that he runs into, just, I don't know. He once he started talking, he just got the articulation of it down pretty well, because a lot of times he's out in public and what's your name? Oh, I'm Riley. I'm like, oh, all right. What are you doing? Oh, I don't know. Dad and I are just going to the store to get some stuff, and we're going to go home. That's cool. What are you going to do at home? Oh, probably play Nintendo. All right.
He's really polite, too.
Yeah, got to teach him the manners young.
A lot of parents don't do that.
Well, I'm not a lot of parents.
As a teacher. Well, you don't have to answer this question, but I was just going to ask if you had any like memories about your mom you wanted to share, or like maybe the top memory. Or...
Probably just riding around in the old Subaru Legacy, listening to cassette tapes with her.
Really?
Yeah. I can't remember if I was telling you. I think it was that she had like 5 or 6 tapes that she had, made mixtapes onto over the years. And one of my favorites had Judas Priest on there. And the other one, it was weird because a lot of more heavy metal stuff too, which I didn't get quite as into, but Judas Priest, Metallica. Well, I think my favorite one on there she had was Megadeth, Symphony of Destruction.
Wow.
That one, yeah. So when I got to see those guys in Seattle at the Moore Theater when I was like 15, and they played that, I was like, oh man, Mom would be proud of me right now if she saw this. She was here. Yeah, I don't know, just
cool.
I don't think there's anything that really stands out, just little stuff like that,
I always enjoyed when like my dad would he'd work late at the mill some nights, and my mom would make like spaghetti or something, but she'd light candles. So we'd eat by candlelight, or she'd be like, sweet, Dad's working late, we're having pancakes.
Coaching is fun. I've never gotten past like 3rd and 4th graders, obviously, but I remember Gibson talking about coaching the baseball team up at Concrete, and I was like, man, that sounds really fun.
I think you'd be a good coach.
And I think I would really enjoy it, but at the same time, it's just like with all this other stuff going on, it's just...
It would cut into your golfing.
Yeah, it would cut into a lot of stuff. Yeah,
wait, could Concrete have a golfing team?
I don't think they would have to really boost the interest. You should start one. That would be cool.
You should start one.
That was the one thing I guess I was only bummed about staying at Concrete for, was no golf team.
Yeah.
We're going to have to change that.
Did you ever play any computer games like growing up?
Minesweeper, Solitaire.
Did you ever play Myst?
I did a little bit.
That was my game.
My mom had that one, and Torrens Passage.
Oh.
That one is... Oh, and King's Quest. That was another...
Oh, I loved King's Quest. Which one?
Any one of them. Like, okay.
I think the first one I played was 6, maybe 5.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it was like 5 or 6, but I know
the graphics didn't get good till maybe 6.
Yeah, they've got like 12 of them now or something. But Torrens Passage, I think, that was my favorite. That one was cool. It was like basically you just go around and solve puzzles, kind of like Myst.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot to it, not a whole lot of like fighting or interaction or anything. You just basically kind of walk from one place to the other, figure something out, how to get you to the next place. And then we had a couple times at night where, because my dad would love to just sing on the microphone on that game.
Yeah.
So I'd play the drums, he'd sing.
What song? What was his favorite?
On there, probably Gimme Shelter.
Okay.
Spirit in the Sky, Norman Greenbaum. Basically anything he knew on that game, he would love to sing. And I was in like 8th or 9th grade when it came out, and there were times where we'd be in there in my bedroom playing until like 3 o'clock in the morning.
You and your dad?
Me and my dad. And my mom would come. My mom would come in and she'd be like, "What the hell is wrong with you two? Like, you got to go to work. He's got to go to school in the morning. I know you don't have to leave until you want to, but he's got to get up at 6." It's so much fun. I mean,
I lived in New Zealand for a year, and the weirdest part about that was they drive on the other side of the road.
like in Europe, you mean? So like on the left side?
Yeah. So, and your your steering wheel's on the
And
other
you're
side.
on the right side, yeah.
So, which when I first moved there, we'd be going along, and I'd see like giant arrows on the side of the road. I'm like, why do they have giant arrows telling you which way to drive? My friend's like, well, because stupid North Americans come here and people die every year because of you guys. I was like, well, how would you not know what side you're driving on? And then I think we were at Safeway one day, and my boyfriend and I pulled out. I was driving, and I pulled out of the parking lot, just automatic, just pulled out, and he cranked the wheel, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? He was like, you were on the wrong side of the road. I'm like, oh my god.
What is it like driving on the, it's funny, Gibson's little work truck he drives on the right side. Really? I feel like that's got to be the weirdest part. I don't know.
Does he deliver mail?
No, he
works for the town.
Yeah,
right?
He just works for it's just like I say, it's his little work truck, but it's this dinky little. Yeah. I mean, it looks like it's from Austin Powers, little Mike Myers truck. But yeah, I saw it, and he said it was a stick shift, and I had to ask him. I was like, so is the gas pedal on the left side? And he was like, no, the gas pedals and stuff are still the same. It's just. He's on the right side of the car, but yeah, he was like...
He has to shift with his
left. Yeah, he was like, it is really weird shifting with your left hand. And I was like, oh, that would be strange, dude.
The car that I talked about in New Zealand, that was the car that I stole.
You stole a car?
I did. It was an accident. I bought a car off my friend, and so I went down to the college, and I saw it, and I drove it away. And then 3 days later, he called me, and he's like, hey, Lizzie, how's the car? And I was at work. I'm like, oh yeah, it's great. By the way, there's some food in the trunk. I don't know if you want it. Oh, I thought my wife, I thought she got rid of it. And nope, it's like four grocery bags. Like you had just gone shopping. Go. Yeah, I'll talk to her. I guess just throw it out. Okay. And then he calls back. Derek, the manager, answered the phone and like, Lizzie, you have the wrong car. And I was like, no, I don't. She cleaned the car out. There's nothing in there. Yes, there is. He's like, do you have the right car? I'm like, of course I do. It was in the parking lot of the college. Yeah, in the corner. Yeah, back corner. Well, it's more like the front corner. I'll be right back. And I ran down to the college, and yeah, it was a Sunday, so no one's there. Sure enough, in the corner, it was the car. So I drove my car, parked beside it. It's the exact same car. I'm like, okay, no one has to know.
Do I need any sort of special signing off, or?
No, I usually just end awkwardly.
Okay. We're going to end awkwardly now.
Thank you, Spencer.
You're welcome.